This is a 2-minute chart of the E-mini S&P 500 for August 10th, 2007. We have a negative skew. VWAP is below the peak volume price at 1444.50. Here's the PVP, here's the VWAP. Trader could have taken a trade here on this reversal at the first standard deviation. This is an up bar, and then applying the Shapiro effect, he would have entered the trade just below that at 1439.25, exited the trade here at 1437.75 or 1438 on this bar. There was no trade down here at the second standard deviation. Now the market's moving back up to the first standard deviations, retracing. If we get to the first standard deviation with an up bar, we'd wait again, use the Shapiro effect to decide whether we should take that trade or not. And the first standard deviation at 1439.36. Again, we have a negative skew, so we're looking for shorts only. Okay, here we are at 1439.36. In earlier videos I would have told you enter immediately, but now it's a wise choice to wait. Wait until you have some kind of confirmation that this is really going to be a good short. The market's moving up. So we just sit and watch, we wait. Confirmation of this trade, at least on this bar, would be a down bar that went below 1437.75. So we'll wait for that, see if that happens. If it doesn't happen, the next possible trade would be up here at the VWAP at 1442.36. Okay, this bar is about to close. And market's coming down here. So is this going to be an up bar or a down bar? Incidentally, for those of you watching this video, here's something I always found interesting about charts in general. No matter what kind of chart you have up, count the number of up bars versus the number of down bars. Say from the start of the day till the end of the day. You usually find that the number of up bars equals the number of down bars to within about 10%. Don't count dojis. It's a rather interesting observation. Wonder what you could do with that information. Don't know. Anyway, here we are. We exceeded the low of this up bar, so we entered the trade at 1437.50 would have been the entry. One tick below the low of this up bar that touched the first standard deviation. So that would be 1437.50. So we have an entry here, 1437.50. And let's see if this market's going to move down. Okay. 1437.50. Okay, market move back to our entry. Expectation is it to move to 1436. Let's see, one tick above that. Either 1436 and a quarter or 1436.50. 1436.50 probably would be a good exit point for this. So we're waiting here to see if this market will drop. Not moving down very rapidly. Still sitting around our entry point, 1437.50. I'd like to get a point out of this thing, if we can. If you don't like a trade when you're in it, as if the trade doesn't move your way and you don't have patience, just exit. Perhaps just take one tick profit. You know, go with your gut, your feeling, whatever that is. There's something going on in that region near our entry that we don't know about. Maybe we will know about things like this when we talk about the hold-up prices. All right, market's moving down, 1436.50, 1437. We get to 1436.50, 75. Having a tough time here. 75. 50. Okay, maybe we got a fill, maybe we didn't. If we didn't get a fill, we should hit the break-even button. There we go. And we're filled. Okay. So that was a trade. Not a great trade, but profitable. If you're in more than one contract, you'd exit one. Let's say you're in two contracts. You might exit one contract and then hit the break-even button, and you would have been stopped out of that second contract up here. But that's the breaks. Can't have it all. Alright, so what is this market doing now? What do we do? Well, if it comes back to the first standard deviation, we repeat the whole process again. We're looking for a short. apply the Shapiro effect and enter the trade short again. So market's coming up. Let's see what happens when we get to the first SD. Again, don't take the first touch of the standard deviation. You can wait. Wait and see what happens. That's what the Shapiro effect is all about. If the trade is good now, it'll be good on the next bar. With a long bar like this, you probably wouldn't even want to take this trade, even if it were good. Hardly any room to move. Big up move here. Novice traders would say, oh my goodness, market's really going wild. I better get in now. Uh-oh, we just got a switch in the PVP down to 1440. So, we are now in that zone where the market hasn't really made up its mind about what it wants to do. The skew is now positive and not negative. So if you're going to take long trades, wait till the market gets up here in this region. Or look for breakouts to the downside. This is the low volume region now, from the peak volume price down to the low. But remember, it's dangerous taking trades in this region. Look for some kind of entry below this first standard deviation, 1438. So you might want to take an entry at 1438.75 on the short side. Or wait till the market moves to the VWAP to take long trades. If you're really an aggressive trader, you might say to yourself, well, skew is positive, bet on the odds. Enter the trade at 1439, 1440 right now. Expectation for the market to move up to 1442. Right up to the VWAP. That's a possible trade. I used to think that would be a good trade, but I'm not so sure anymore, considering the nature of this region. It's so dangerous in here. You're living on the abyss, so anything's possible. You see the market now moving down, broke through here, 1438. 50, 25. So you might have taken a short right there, just below the VWAP, just below the first standard deviation here. And me being the conservative trader that I am, I would immediately move my stop to break even. Never trust the market in this region. Prices are coming right back up again, so I'd be stopped out. That's the nature of breakouts. Very tough to trade breakouts. You could try using the Shapiro effect on breakouts, but Many times I've seen that breakouts, when they start, they just keep right on going. No reversals. This breakout obviously is not doing its thing. So if you entered the trade, you'd be out of it. Incidentally, there's no way to scale into this. There's no good scale-in points on a breakout like this. If the breakout occurred down here, that is, if you didn't get the first breakout from the first standard deviation down to the second, you could wait for a retrace and enter a trade short there. Then you'd have a good scale-in point up here. So if the trade moved against you, you could wait for a scale-in. But at this point, there is no scale-in. So I would have been out of this trade already. We're back to the PVP. Again, expectation, market should move up. And that's what it's doing. Going right back up to the VWAP. So anyway, that's the nature of this beast. To summarize, we had a short trade. At this point, we applied the Shapiro effect, took the short trade. Short trade was good. Wasn't a great trade, but it was good enough. And then the market moved up. We thought maybe we'd take another short trade at this point, but then we saw that the peak volume price flipped to 1440. That is, it flipped down below the VWAP. And so the expectation is the market should probably move to the upside, back up to the VWAP. That would be the high volume area. But there was always the possibility that it might like to break out to the downside, which is what it did over here. But it didn't continue. So if you took a breakout trade here, you would have been stopped out. And the market just simply reversed and move back up to the VWAP. Okay, hope this helps you understand flips. They're as dangerous as anything when they occur. If you happen to be in a trade when the market flips, exit. Collect all your marbles, put them back in the bag, and get out of town. Don't stick around. Anything can happen, and does happen, at a flip. Have a good one.